Welcome back to the PAV. Hope you've had a good summer. It's time to get to work. Excited to be back here with this group. I've been all over the world this summer, this spring, apart together, but nowhere better to be than here in the PAV. Nice full roster here of athletes that we know. Been working here for about 3 days, and just looking forward to doing what we love with people that we really enjoy being around. So welcome back.
The difference maybe from last year at this time when you're learning a whole new roster, a whole new city, a whole new campus, to now knowing what mostly the roster looks like, the players, but also just the generic, like you know the city, you know where everything is, just the comfort maybe.
Yeah. Scary word, comfort. Coaches love the word comfort. No, I think there's a difference between coaching and managing, you probably heard me say. And it takes a while to know athletes the way you need to be great for them. And now 18, 20 months into this, I feel like we've had that time. And we know these kids, and we know how to help them. And so just a lot more efficient maybe is the way that we think about it.
Having that full roster, I mean, I imagine there's benefits to that, obviously, but what is that like, having more bodies in here on a daily basis?
Yeah, not just more bodies, but more of the right people, I think. More people who've chosen us and chosen the university for reasons that we know, We've got me off the court, thankfully, no longer contributing in practice as much, which is good for the level of play, but just pretty joyful, a lot of intensity, more depth, more competition, I'd say, at each position this training camp than in years past, which leads for some good moments.
What steps will you want to take this year, and is there pressure just on yourself to take some bigger strides this year?
Yeah, I always tell the athletes the pressure is kind of brought by who do you have on your team. Who's in the gym with you. Are you in the ballpark in terms of talent? If you are, then it comes down to character and chemistry. Do you have those two things? And I've given a rough view of that as if we make it to that second weekend of the tournament, you can make it all the way. And that's always been a benchmark for a program that's competing for a national championship. And we were close last year, but we missed it. But certainly this is the kind of place where you aspire to win national championships. That's why these athletes are here. That's why I'm here. But if you're looking for a benchmark, that's probably it. Playing late into December, you give yourself a chance.
I wanted to ask about kind of the recruitment that comes from the club program. I'm forgetting the name right now. It's like Minnesota North Stars, I think.
Yeah.
I know Stella, Olivia play on it, Sydney.
Yeah.
How much of that is kind of them kind of talking to the athletes and having those conversations about a program that's at Minnesota versus you kind of going into those club programs?
It's a lot of work. Minnesota has a great tradition of keeping athletes home here, and but it's not a guarantee. We're in those gyms a lot, and our competitors are there as well. I think we've added, in 20 months, we've added something like 12 athletes, both signed or verbally committed. It's a new player every 6 weeks. So recruiting is a beast, and we're fortunate to have some high-level clubs here and some high-level players, and the majority of them are choosing to stay here with us. And that was always our priority when we came in, and thankfully it's been one of our bigger successes for sure. Yeah.
Coach, I know we've asked you a bunch about the Big Ten and expanding it, and now that that's actually here and just talking to some of your players, they're excited to go to California during the season.
Yeah.
Is that an added just flavor to the season now?
Everyone should be excited. I know those 4 institutions pretty well, and finally, I know 4 of the schools in this conference at least. But just they should be excited for what they add, and those fans should be excited to join the Big Ten. And all the fans win, all the players win, coaches get stressed, everyone else wins. We'll certainly welcome the Northwest schools to the PAV the right way, and I'll enjoy taking those kids to LA to play at 2 storied institutions there. But man, it's one of my favorite years in volleyball, I think, is going to be this year for sure.
Anything more for Keegan?
All right, guys. It's good to see you guys.
Phoebe, what's the mood? I mean, I know this just started. Last Friday was the first practice or something. So we are a couple days in.
I think we were just excited to be back. I think especially just with the new girls we have on the team and the new energy, and then it's just refreshing. So I think everybody's just excited to be back in the gym, especially with coaches, because we were working this summer, but to have coaches around to get the feedback, just get better. It's just exciting.
With it being your second year, it's Coach Cook's second year.
Yeah.
You both are kind of have your routines and things going in. What is that like? Just to be
I think
more
I'm just more,
comfortable?
exactly. Comfortable is the word I would say. Like coming into the gym, I know what to expect just with my coaching staff, what the feedback I'm going to get. I think last year was a bit new, like the amount of feedback I was getting, or just I didn't know where I was, how I would be in the team, where I fit, my piece in the team. And so I think it's just been more comfortable, like comfortable to the point that it's exciting to come back in and like know how to talk to my coaching staff. If I need more of this, I need more of that, or they know what they're going to get out of me. So it's been really good. It's been enjoyable, very fun.
With your experience in transfer, have you been kind of guiding the new transfers throughout this fall camp at all?
Yeah, I think we're just all focused on being here together and just like growing community, growing a team. And so I think just more off the court, I've been more of just helping them out, just like places to go eat. We'll just catch lunch and simple stuff like that. But when we're in the gym, it's just, we're all in it together. And so we're all supporting each other.
You notice with the little bigger roster that how has that impacted maybe the competition level in practice?
I love it. Like, we're all being pushed. Every position group is being pushed. Everybody's working really hard. Obviously, at the end of the day, we're a team, and so we're going to support each other at the end of the day. But it's fun, more competitive for sure, and just the environment. Like, everybody wants to get on the court, and so you're going to be pushed in every aspect.
How do you feel with the new looked Big Ten? It was already really good, and it's getting even better.
Yeah.
Kind of cool to have 4 teams that are all really good joining.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Coming from Loyola, Marymount, and LA, so I've competed against some of those schools a couple times, and they're fun teams, great teams to compete against. It's a good time, and to go out to California, I think it'll be really fun for the team as well. So, and having Oregon, we competed against them last year. That was a great game against them last year. Washington too, just Keegan's background with them. It's just exciting. I mean, really great competition, great people, great, yeah, good times.
You mentioned your comfort level and working on your game. Feedback. What kind of feedback have you gotten in the last year that you think has helped your game? Areas that you've improved the most in, maybe?
I think different aspects of my games have changed. Just trying to be more offensive, and so a lot of feedback, working off one leg a lot more, blocking. I'm better to one side than the other, so just working on being able to be as aggressive on the other side of the net as I am on one side that I am already okay at and good at. But offensively, we want to get that middle offense going, and so being in the gym, getting those reps, just staying locked in with that, and so that's been really fun.
Did you watch the Olympics at all?
I did.
Any takeaways from watching those players?
Yeah, I think it's just the mindfulness of every rep. They're like, they are going for every ball, middles, no matter what. Like, I think I just everybody would be like, you're a middle and you're not gonna set, but no, you're gonna set the ball. If the ball comes to you, you're gonna set the ball. You're gonna put up a perfect ball for your outside to hit. And so we've been working on that a lot too. It's just being uncomfortable. Like, everybody's a setter in this gym. Everybody's a passer. We're doing digging reps. We're doing setting reps. We're all in it. So it's been really fun.
Anything else for Phoebe?
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I know it's just a few days into this, but what's the mood like around here when a season launches?
The vibes are pretty high, I'm not going to lie. I think, I don't know, maybe my first couple years there was this many people on a team, but we haven't had 17 people on a roster in a very long time. So, and it's a really good mix of people. The transfers that came in were a good fit for us, and then our freshmen are good, and then the oldies are still making way with the juniors coming into that group. So it's just a really good group of people right now, and we're flowing pretty well.
Building blocks of last year, I mean, in a crazy way, winning only one NCAA tournament game almost feels like a down year for this program. What are the building blocks off last season?
I wouldn't say it was a down year. I would like to recognize we did get a whole new coaching staff, but I think the way the season ended up going, it was good for us to just, like, we had to fight in the end to just even make it into the tournament. So to get at least one win, I think, was good. Obviously, for the people who have been at Minnesota a little while longer, we were like, what are we doing? But we knew, like, we had a lot of things that changed, a lot of things going on. But building blocks from last year are probably going to be really focused on being a good team. I think everyone in the Big Ten has enough physical power and, like, ability to play a good game and get to the tournament. But at the end of the day, it's going to be who the best team is, and I don't think we've been as good as we could have been in the past. So
You talk about going through the coaching transition. How much different is it now that you know what the routine might be, as different as it was from before? How helpful is that now head into year 2 of Keegan's?
it's a lot easier. Last spring, I was like, what am I doing? Because it's just different with the old coaching staff, you got recruited by them. You knew them for 3 or 4 years in high school before you got here. So I learned to trust a little faster than I normally would, and I think Keegan and the rest of the staff was really good about putting in time and energy to talking with us outside of volleyball, getting to know like our families. Like Keegan came to my house all the way in Indiana for a day, which I was not expecting, but he made it to Newcastle. So you can just tell that they like really want to be here, and they're as appreciative as the players are to get to like be here at Minnesota and play for a program like this. So it was hard not to jump on board pretty much.
Does the bigger roster have any kind of downfalls or any positives that happen while on the court and off the court?
I don't really see any downfalls. The positives are obviously we have, like, if we needed to switch our whole entire lineup, we could switch our whole entire lineup if we wanted to. There's a lot more bodies at practice. In season, we'll have more people to switch in and out during, like, practices before games and stuff if the people who played, like, the night before can't really move as well the next day. But, and then obviously we'll have a bigger bench, so it'll be a lot of fun to have the people, everyone knowing their roles and, like, switching in and out. And the atmosphere so far has been, everyone's been pretty good about if they're out and then they're coming in, they're doing their job, and then when they're off, they're cheering. So I think overall positive with 17 people.
The Big Ten was obviously already really good, and now those 4 new programs join this thing. Is that exciting? I mean, who's coming in and what's actually happening this year?
I'm excited. I think I don't really know what to expect. I don't know if other than Oregon, I don't think I've played any of the other teams the last 5 years I've been here. So it'll be exciting going all the way to California for a weekend, 5 days, however long we're going. Yeah, my expectations are super high. They're obviously really good teams if they're joining the Big Ten. I know a few people at each of the schools, so it'll be good to see people that you normally don't see. But I think they're obviously amazing volleyball programs. Keegan came from Washington. I mean, USC, UCLA, and Oregon are all in the tournament, so it's not like I'm not sad that they are in the Big Ten. I'm excited.
You mentioned the roster size. Is there some benefit too of is it better competition? Does it push teammates to be better, do you think?
I think it does. I think the last few days everyone's kind of been realizing that if you're not playing very well, they're gonna we need to switch you out real fast just so we can get the drill going, and then at some point when you recollect yourself you can come back in. So I think everyone understands now that there's competition in your own position groups, so it's like everyone's working a little harder, and then that person that they're working a little harder to compete against is working a little harder. So each time it's just like the bar is raising for each of the position groups, and then when we all come together and play in the end, it's very much like we're going to war, kind of, because it's like everyone wants to play at the end of the day. But it's still a very positive atmosphere. I don't want to say it's like we're mean to each other, because we're not. It doesn't get snippy or anything yet, so we'll see. But so far it's been super positive. I think everyone's super grateful to be here again, and it's just a different vibe than we've had in the gym for a while, I would say.
Have you kind of seen your role change or stay the same from last year to this year?
Oh my gosh. Well, I only have 4 months left, so I've been thinking about that. I've been meeting with Keegan and the coaches a lot more. I've just been kind of trying to figure out how to connect with everyone on the team, because I am a people person outside of practice and at practice. So I've kind of been seeing my role as I'm like delegating and helping people get over stuff, and then I'm like also working on not getting super annoyed, because I do sometimes get annoyed with myself. So it's helped me like self-regulate because I'm worrying about other people. But a lot of my new role, I would say, is checking in, keeping up with people, fixing problems if there's any problems. And then outside of volleyball, I'm doing like the same thing, except most of the time we're not talking about volleyball. I'm just hanging out with the team about random things. So